Good evening, everybody. Today, I want to explain about the chanting, the extra chanting we have done after the turning the wheels of Dhamma. This is called Mahapatana Mātikā Pata. It means this is actually Abhidhamma. Normally, till now, we make some chanting refer to the Sutta Pitaka. And then I explain about the Sutta. This is the story that Ananda, he tell the monks what he heard from the Buddha, what he experienced from the Buddha, the teaching of the Buddha. And we call it Sutta Pitaka. It's the what Ananda he was hearing from the Buddha. That's why we say Sutta. Sutta, it means hearing. That's what I heard. Just to let you know that this is in the page 82, bracket 57. Okay, bracket 57, page 82. This is in the Abhidhamma. Today we are going to talk about the Abhidhamma. Another time we talk about the Vinaya, about the precept. Okay? What happened is that in the first meeting of the Buddha, the monk, they get together. So Ananda, he give them the sutta. It means the 84,000 stories from the Buddha, he say. And then he share with them the teaching of the Buddha, what the Buddha means to the people, and how he teach them, and how he instruct them, and what happened then. It was another monk. He tell his name was Upali, and Upali explained about the Vinaya, about the precept of the monk, the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni. And this come to be the 6 books of Vinaya Pitaka. Pitaka, it means basket. Okay, so we have 3 baskets according to Buddhism. Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, and another one is the Abhidhamma Pitaka. Abhidhamma Pitaka, it's come to me later. This is according to the tradition. It's come from the Sariputta. It's very, very deep. It's something like the deep philosophic about understanding how nature is working, okay, according to Buddhism. How the mind is working, how the body is working, what happens when we die, what happens when we go to sleep, how the bodies function, how the mind functions. If someone know, I don't know, the secret Kabbalah, you know, in Judaism you have Kabbalah, so it's the deep meaning of how the word became. And the Buddha said that he give the example of the monk. To the monk, he say he hold the leaf of Siksampa. This is kind of a tree. He hold in the hand, and he asked the monk what there is more on the tree, leaves on the tree, in the forest, or in my hand. So the monk, the response, of course, the leaf on the tree in the forest, it's much more than what you have in your hand. So the Buddha said the knowledge of the Buddha is the same like a tree, the forest leaf on the tree in the forest. But the Buddha give you only and full of and with leaves. And this is also difficult for you to understand. So the Abhidhamma is very, very deep. So the Buddha, he wanted to transfer the Abhidhamma to someone. And the only one that the Buddha really can transfer it as a human being, it was Sariputta. Sariputta was the assistant, the right-handed of the Buddha. He was the most clever from all the monks. So the only thing, only the person, the only one that the Buddha really can teach him Abhidhamma, it was Sariputta himself. And then, according to the tradition, Sariputta, he give this Abhidhamma to his students, and at the end, coming to be the Abhidhamma Pitaka later on. So, what we are... Yeah. So what we are, I will explain a little bit about the Abhidhamma itself. Like I say, Abhidhamma, it's about 7 books. It's very, very difficult. It's take about 7.5 years to learn these things. And it's still, you don't really understand it very deep. But what the meaning of Abhidhamma? Dhamma, it's in this case, it's nature or the teaching, okay? And Abhi, it means big, okay? The big teaching. And like I said, this is inside Abhidhamma, it's explained how the mind is working, how the body is working, all the elements in the body, all the elements in how the mind, for example, when we are sleeping, what happened? The birth moment, what happened? When did we die? What happened in our mind? How the mind is functioning, okay? So it's like I said, it's actually seven books. The last books, it's called Patana, okay? This Patana, it's the book itself, okay? What the meaning of Patana? Just I explain what is the book. This is the seventh, the last book from all the 7 books of Abhidhamma called Patana. And what the meaning of Patana? It's meant various conditions, okay? Different conditions. Soon I will explain the meaning, okay? The various conditions or different conditions. Just to let you see how deep is it. If the Burmese translation, they take from the origin, okay? They take it and they translate it in the Burmese language. It's come to be 2,640 pages. Only this, actually, we are talking about the 7th book of the all the Abhidhamma. So only this book, it's 2,640 pages. We are going to talk about only 10 pages. Only 10 pages, and you see how deep it is. In these 10 pages, it's explaining about the conditions of how inside me created I, self, me, okay? This is same like what the meaning of conditions. I give you example. If we want to develop flowers, okay, we want to grow up flowers, we need watering, okay, we need to we need earth, we need temperature, we need all these elements, we need exactly conditions, so we will have flowers in our garden, okay? So this means patana. It means different conditions that is creating, but in this case, we are not talking about creating flowers. We are talking about how come to be the me, the I, the self. I give you another example. If we want to do football or basketball, we need different conditions. We need like fields that people play there. We need the players. The players cannot be one on the other. They need to be separate. The balls all the time will transfer from one person to another person. So you see, there is, for example, there is only one person in the goal. You cannot put 2 people on the goal. So different conditions to create football games or basketball games. So in the same way, what happened to the me that at the end I get the feeling there is someone inside, okay? How create the I, the me? So it's because of different conditions that exist in us. What is mean us? If we are going deep inside us, we can see that we are a human being. We have physical and mental. We have body and mind, okay? The body and mind changing all the time. Yeah? The body changing all the time, growing old, and then we have to die, and then maybe we old another body. And the mind is also changing. The mind is also functioning. If we talk about this, what we are, 5 aggregates. Many times we talk, we have 5 elements that we can say this is I. We have body inside us. Yeah? We have body. We have feeling. We liking, disliking, and neutral. Okay. And other things that we have, it's memory, perceptions. Okay. We can remember things. And other things we have inside us, we have the what we call sankara or volition. anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving, loving kindness, compassion, okay? And we have consciousness. So altogether, we have 5 elements, and these 5 elements, they are changing all the time when play between themselves, and then this is how we are working. What we call, what I am Phra Ofer, it's actually 5 elements that working all the time in this way. Okay? So, if we talk about this Ma'a Patana matrix Pata, it means that this is what is the Ma'a, it's a great. Okay, this is in the 82. When we look at page 82, Etu Pachayo, Aramana Pachayo, Adipati Pachayo, Anandra Pachayo, Samanandara Pachayo, Sahajata Pachayo, okay, Anyamanya Pachayo, Nisaya Pachayo, Upanisaya Pachayo, Pure Chata Pachayo, Pacha Chata Pachayo, like this, okay? What is this? If you count how many Pachayo, 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 how many altogether? You have 24. What the meaning of the word Pachaya? Pachaya is condition. Like I told you, one condition for the basketball is that you cannot put 2 players one on the head of the others. So they have to be separate. Yeah? Whenever someone losing the balls or whatever, the balls will go to another person. Okay, this is another condition. You have the fields, okay? The fields have colors, but the colors will not be if there is no field. The color must be only if the fields will be. It's another condition, okay? So this is how it's create what we say basketball game, okay? So in this way, I explain you how inside us there is different conditions that at the end we create the me, I, self, okay? So this, what we talk now, what I just sing, Etu Pachayo, Aramana Pachayo, and this is the 24 conditions. I will try to explain you what the meaning of each one. What is Etu Pachayo, what is Aramana Pachayo, what is Atipati Pachayo, okay? But I just want to mention one thing. We are using this chanting when people die. Because normally we coming to someone when he die or to the family and we start to cry, we all feeling sorry, my family, my members of the family die, but we are monks, we are coming from the point of view of human being, of Buddhists, and we see reality as reality. This is normal. There is a birth, aging, sickness, and die. It's just body and mind, which is finished now. They will reincarnate again. We should not take it personally and to take it so hard and cry and this. We have to understand nature as a nature. So when we are going to the graveyard, when we are going to the family or whatever, we are chanting this kind of chanting. We're starting actually from the 55. Kusala Dhamma, Kusala Dhamma, Hapaya Kata. This is in Abhidhamma, you see, Abhidhamma. In the bracket, it's called Dhammasaṅgaṇī mātikā. And we something like explaining by the Dharma to the family, to the audience. The people created by actually body and mind and just changing. But I don't want to explain you this Dhammasaṅgaṇī mātikā because it will be too difficult to explain you. But I will try to explain you this Ma'a Patana, okay? Matrix. What is Ma'a? It's a great, okay? Patana, I told you, it's various conditions. It's different conditions. Mātikā. Mātikā, it's the same words like matrix. I think already all of you know matrix from the movie, okay? Matrix, it means shablona, okay? It means form. It means the way that it's built, kind of building or the form. This means matrix. And pata, it means song or text, okay, saying. So this is the meaning of this passage on the matrix of the patana. Patana, like I say, it's different conditions of the, what is the condition? Altogether, we have 24 conditions. So I hope that till now you could understand this is somehow what is the meaning of Abhidhamma. Where the Abhidhamma coming, the Buddha, after the Buddha get enlightened, he wanted in 3 months to explain to someone the Abhidhamma. He knew that only the angels will be able to learn Abhidhamma in so short time. Okay, so that's why, as a present, he go to Sita heaven. This is the place where his mother was there. This is Bodhisattva. So he sent his mind to the Bodhisattva to teach his own mother. Okay, because she died, she became Bodhisattva. So he sent his mind every day, and teach the angels there Abhidhamma. And then he came back to the world. He was collecting food and teaching Sariputta. So that's how after this 3 months, the Sariputta, he transferred the Abhidhamma to his own students. And this is how we keep the Abhidhamma with us. Okay, like I say again, this is 7 books. It's about, if people go to learn Abhidhamma, they can, maybe 7.5 years it takes to them. They are learning by heart. They're learning to chant it. In Burma, in Sri Lanka, sometime in Thailand. Very, very difficult to understand. Okay, but they are learning at least by heart and some explanation. Okay, so now I will try to explain you what is this 24 Pachaya. So you see the first one, it's a Hetu Pachayo. Okay, Pachayo, we say the condition, Hetu. Hetu, it means root. Root, like a root of the tree. Because the Buddha say we are suffering because in our mind there is anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving. So he can describe it like a root of the tree, which is based by mainly 3: ignorance, greed, anger, and delusion. Greed, it means wanting, I want, okay? Greed is, for example, when we have selfish, we don't want to give to others. Greed is when we have desire, I want something, okay? When we have craving, so we see what happened to us, we are wanting, we are ignorant in the mind. Greed when we have attachment, I don't want to give to anyone. This is one thing, one attachment. Another attachment that we have, it's the anger. I don't want, okay? Aversion. We have in the mind hatred. I hate this kind of person. Worry, okay? Anxiety, jealousy. I don't want that he will have this and this. Remorse. Oh, why I make like this? Why it happened like this? Okay? Regret. Frustration. And elimination. Okay? So all these things, it's aversion. And we are suffering. We have the attachment to the self. I have bad feeling. This is create the I also. Another things, it's what we call delusion. What is the meaning delusion? For example, ignorance. I don't know that this and this make me suffering, so I will do it. I will break precept because I don't understand that this is not good. Yeah, confusion, doubting, thought and torpor, laziness and tiredness. Okay, and restlessness. Mind all the time jumping, doubt. So this is like the Buddha described it like a root, like a tree holding the ground. By the tree, by this tree, ignorant, we are growing up as a human being. And this is greed, anger, delusion is turning us in the samsara. So this greed, anger, delusion are rooted. They are the cause for us to run in the samsara to be someone. Okay? So, but we have to understand that we have also another root, which is the positive. What is still making us running in the samsara? This is the opposite from anger. For example, loving kindness. Okay? So Asher. Asher, Ramkod. Okay, we stop it. That's it. Yeah, okay. אוקיי, לא, אשר, פשוט הוא היה קול, זה נכנס יחד איתי. טוב, נגמר. Sorry. And then, okay, so we say this is the opposite from the greed, anger, and delusion. For example, opposite from greed, it's giving, loving kind, dana, okay? Generosity, detachment. But this is also something that motivates us running. We have the opposite from anger. The opposite from anger, it's non-hatred or loving kindness. And the opposite from delusion, which is the wisdom, knowledge, insight, okay, common sense, and general knowledge. When we are learning, it's also kind of knowledge. So these 6 kind of like a root that holding the tree on the ground, this is function inside us and motivate us to walk as to identify this is me. I'm good person, I'm bad person, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, so this is conditions that we call it root conditions. Because of them, we are functioning as a human being. So this is the first one. Okay, I think it's clear. So now I go to the second one. This called Aramana Pachayo. Now we talk about the Hetu Pachayo. Hetu, it's a root. Okay, it's a root of the tree, also called Hetu. Okay, now we go to Aramana Pachayo. Aramana Pachayo, it means sense object. It means attraction. Okay, fascinating, attracting. Inside our mind, we have the attractions, we have the greed, we have the attachment to the 6 sense doors. Because we attracted to the 6 sense doors, we all the time have the reason to want another things, to get another things. I hear something, I want it. I smell something, I want it. Okay, so we have hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling, and also thinking. Okay, but on the mind. And when we have these things, we influence. The mind is influenced by this. The mind attracted by this. The mind craved to this. In the mind, we have these attractions to the sense doors, and this is another reason, another cause, another condition that motivate us as a human being to run in the samsara, to be exist as a human being. Okay, this is the second conditions that exist in the eye, what we say. Okay, another conditions, it's called Adipati Pachayo. This is the third one, Adipati Pachayo. This is like superior conditions or controlling conditions, predominance conditions. I will explain. This is conditions in the mind that exist that push us to go on and to go on, to go on. For example, desire, okay? Very strong will. In Pali, it's called chanda. Okay, I try not to, I don't want to put too much Pali language, it's make you more confused. But the idea is that it's, the Buddha say there is 4 elements that if someone develop it, he can achieve anything that he wants in the life. Whatever he wants, if he really achieve, the Buddha said to Ananda that because he achieved it, he can stay longer life, because the Buddha died 80 years. So he said, if I use this power, I can live longer life. And what is this? The first one is the desire. It means the willing to achieve the goal. If someone running marathon, he say, okay, I will push more because it's important for me to win the marathon. I give a prize to I give a award to the country. or I will push more, I will finish the degree, maybe doctor or professor or whatever. So we push more. And this is the desire to do it, the reason to do it, okay? So this is like a motivating in the mind, some kind of power that pushes us to go more, to achieve something that we want to do or we need to do, okay? Another thing, it's the effort itself. Effort. We have effort to, for example, like I said, people use the effort. They can win the marathon. The Buddha could use it if he wanted to live longer life. He used effort. So effort is also like a controlling or superior power that's inside us, and it's helping us to go on. Okay. Another one things, it's a mind. It means we have a target. We focus on the target. For example, I have the mission to do this and this. The mind is all together focused on the one object. So it gives us the ability to go through whatever difficulties we have. Okay? So this is another conditions in the mind that is make us running. I want to be professor. I'm learning and learning. I want to be whatever. You see, sometimes you see how much they are fighting for chairs in the government to achieve to be some maybe prime minister or whatever. They do so much effort just to achieve it. Okay? And then the fourth things, it's called wisdom. Yeah? Like in Pali we use vibhamsa, but in this case it's kind of wisdom, like in the strategic. I will go from this side. I will do this. I have to, like when we investigate how to do it, so we can achieve it. I will learn this subject. I will learn that subject, and then I will achieve the goal of the learning. Okay? Or people, like I give the example, running marathon. They say, if I just push from right side, I will cut from this side. I give more power to my legs. So you investigate by the wisdom that you gain, and then it will give you some kind of power inside that you can finish what you want. So these things, it's also like a power condition inside us that it motivates us to run in the samsara. I can do it. So what does mean I? Still the I, it became eyes inside. Okay? Then we have the six sense doors as a object conditions for us, motivating us. It's also kind of power that give us the reason to continue. And the last thing is nirvana. So all these conditions, they are something like also good and also bad can be. We can use the things also in the bad way. I can make everything to success stealing the bank or achieve this and this that I want, bad things. So this element, it's acting as condition inside us that is motivating us to go on in the samsara, helping us to push around the wheels of birth, aging, sickness, dying. I am still exist. I can do it. Okay? So this was adipati pachayo, which I say this is superior or controlling powers. This was the third one. Now we continue to the fourth one. It's called anantara pachayo. Continuity. Continuity. This is another condition that I told you. I give you example for the football or basketball, that all the time, whatever will be, one person will send the ball to another person. The other person will send the ball. So as long as the basketball is running, the ball is moving from one to another. So why I'm using it? Because we have body and mind, okay? The body is function, but the mind function much, much more faster. Very, very fast. Every moment there is mind running, anger, worry, doubt, lazy, they're running very, very fast. Every mind jumping, after he go down, he create the other one. create the other one. Okay? Same like if I take a flame of the fire, okay, and I just move for one candles to another candle, immediately the other candles is turning on. It means that the flame is one coming in the moment that the flame of the fire of the candles going down, another one coming, and they creating each other. Okay, so this is mean continuity. So in the same way, the mind is function. The mind is function very, very fast. It create one create, immediately bring the other one. It cause an effect, rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing in our mind. Same like a point. When I take paper and I draw the line, so I create point after point after point after point after point, many, many points. At the end, I look, I see the line, endless, long line. But actually, it's what is this line? It's made by point, point. So in the same way, the mind is working very, very fast. One after the other, one non-stop. Even in the moment of dying, there is no waiting list. If you turn off the fire one moment, there is no other fire. The fire will not come anymore. So you cannot. You must all the time running one by one. This is called anantara. Anantara, it means continuity. Okay? Even in the moment of dying, when the person dies, there is a last moment of dying, and immediately there is new moment of rebirth. There is immediately continuity. There is no waiting list. The mind not stopping somewhere. It's running also in the moment of dying. Immediately go to another stage of rebirth. Okay? So this is condition of the mind that he will never stop. He will run till the moment of nirvana. The moment of nirodha, it will be in the moment that the person dying. Okay? When the people die, when they get enlightened, this is the stopping. There is no any more continuity. But as long as the person is not in enlightened dying, the mind is rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing all the time. Even when you are sleeping, actually so fast. You know how fast? I give you example. Every time we blink in the eyes like this is one moment of body. We create something in our body. In this moment, the mind is functioning 1 and 21 0 after M. So much activity the mind is producing. Just in one blinking like this. So many functions. We in the same moment we are hearing, we seeing, so otherwise I lose balance, I fell down. The mind cannot stop. I have to rising, ceasing, like a point. Moment by moment. Okay? So this is mean the idea of anantara pachayo. It's conditions in the mind that it's all the time in the continuously, without stopping. Okay, we go to another, I can give also another example I write for myself. Same like you see the river moving. But actually the river moving is many drops that pushing each other, okay, moving all the time. We look, we think this is one river. Well, actually there is no any moment of one river. Every time the river changing, the drop in the water change all the time. So the mind also done all the time moving, but we have the delusion that we are all the time the same. There is someone all the time the same, but there is nothing the same, all the time change. Okay, now we continue. This was the fourth one. It was Anantara. Now we go to Samanantara. What does mean Samanantara? Samanantara is sequence conditions, proximate condition, absolutely continuously condition. What does mean? It's actually the same thing like before, what we talk. But we want to explain how fast the continuously is going. And I want to give you an example. When we are opening the eyes, immediately we see. What comes first? We see or the eyes open? We expose to the information, or we see first. It looks the same. It looks together, something like it totally looks together, but it's not together. I open the eyes, I see. Huh? Immediately, when I open the eyes, I see. Yeah. What do you think? But actually, it gets the feeling that it's immediately together, but it's not together. The information coming, the mind produce the processing the information, and then I understand. I see computer. I see myself in the computer. It happens so fast that we are getting the feeling that I open, I see. I close, I hear the voice. This is very, of course, immediately when I hear the voice, the voice created, I hear the voice. But actually, it's because the mind working so fast, it looks that it's happened in one time. But actually, it's not happened in one time. It's every moment, it's one thing on the moment, present moment. That's why we're practicing present moment. Opening, turning, turning, turning. In one turning, already the next one finish. Now another one, turning, finish. When we do mindful prostration, something like turning, turning, turning. It's one movement or many, many small. Many, many, many small. Even it looks like one movement. In the beginner people, they say this is just one movement. But actually it's turning, turning, turning. So we get the idea that I'm moving in one movement, but it's not one movement. It's so fast that it looks like that it's one movement, but it's not one movement. Same thing, I open the eyes, immediately I see. Something like it happened together, but it's not together. It's so fast that it looks, get the delusion that it's together, but it's not together. It's the eye, the light coming into the eyes, the eyes receiving the information, it's going to the mind processing the information and decide what to do with this. And this jita, it's called jita. Okay, the mind make by many, many jita, like many, one by one. Okay, so this is mean samanandara pachayo. It means very, very fast, continuing, or absolutely continuously. Okay, approximate, they call it. You can, another example, you can see, maybe it will give you more explanation. If I push on the keyboard A, immediately on the screen you see A. People working with computer, what do you think? It's exactly the same times, or the computer working so fast that it looks that you are pushing the A, you see the A, but actually the A coming much less after the pushing, because the computer registers going so fast, the electricity in, I push and then you see it, but it's so fast that it looks like I push A, you see A immediately. People that work in computer, they can understand it. So this was the fifth pachaya. Now we go to the sixth pachaya. Sahajata. Okay, Sahajata, they translated connaissance. But what mean connaissance? It means existing. Okay, nascent, something like exist. Nascent, co, it's together. It exists together. Okay, like born together, created together. They live together in the same times. And okay, which things in our life create together or born together? One thing, for example, our body and our mind. I cry, I said tears coming up. They function something like together. The tears coming because of the sadness. I'm laughing. Okay, I'm happy. I'm laughing. It's born together, come together. These two different things. Body is one element. Mind is a mental process. But there's something like functioning together. Okay? And other things, yeah, okay, say the body, the mind function, in the same time the body function. Something like they motivate each other, but they are parallel, working together, okay? Because they are two different elements. And other things, we inside our body, how the body created. So one thing, it's the health element. It means solidity, okay? We have bone, we have tools, it's solidity, okay? And other things we have inside is liquid, water, okay? And other things, it's a hair element. You see, I have hair in my body, inside my blood, everything, there is hair, and temperature. But these four elements, you cannot separate between them. To create something which is material, to create material things, these four elements must come together. You cannot take something, you cannot take the temperature, must be temperature inside. You cannot take the solidity from the material, okay? You can then take the water. The water nature is to bring the things together. You cannot take the air element. So to create material, you need these four elements. And they are all the time going together, these four elements. Okay, not possible to separate between them. Now, another things that go together, for example, in our mind. But the mind, I told you, is going rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing very fast. But the mind is not going for nothing inside. Inside the mind, there is the feeling. Inside the mind, there is the memory. Inside the mind, there effort. They call it, in Pali, it's called jetasik. Okay? They are going like you cannot have dish without food inside. Dish of food must be with some element of food inside. Plate must be there. So the plate and the food must go together. Same like I told you, the fields of the basketball players, okay, must have the color inside. It cannot be without color, some colors, without a size. How big is it? So in the same way, the mind has its own function inside. It go together. The mind coming with maybe greed inside, maybe liking inside, okay? Maybe some effort must be inside. Concentration maybe inside. So all these elements, they call jetasik. They will come together with the mind. The mind cannot be separate between them. So this is different kind of element that what we say sahajata, its function on it. Yeah, they born together, they go together. I give you example, the four elements, okay, of the material, health element, water element, air element, and temperature. These four things must be together. They function together. You can say there is material. Another things, it's the mind with its element inside, and another things is the function between the body and mind. Otherwise, it's not a human being. There is no I. So this is the 6. We have altogether 24. What is 7? 7, it means anya manya pachaya. Anya manya, when they go together, they function in two sides, okay? Relationship, element which have a relationship between them. It's called modality, okay? When things is function and influence each other. So one things that working together, they function each other. I told you that we are human beings and we have 5 aggregates. We have body, okay? We have the memory, feeling, the memory, okay? We have anger, worry, doubt, all these things. And we call it volition. And we have consciousness. So this element of the mind, they must work together. They all the time influence each other. The memory is influence the feeling. The feeling may influence the memory, okay? The anger, worry will function on the feeling, okay? And the consciousness function, they're functioning all the time together. They are something like working together as a one unit that each one influence the others and all the other influence on the one. So this is also the way of the mind how it's working, and this is like a characters, okay, or conditions in us. And other things, like I said, there is relationship between the body and the mind. Sometimes the mind is affecting the body. I want something, that's why I move. Sometimes happen to me something in the body and then the mind reacting. So between the body and the mind, there is also relationship. They're affecting each other, okay? It's not that only the mind is, sometimes I lose balance and then, I try to correct myself. It's in this case, something happened to the body and then the body and the mind react to this, try to correct. But sometimes I want something, I want to take the pen and then I move my hand. So there is a relationship between both of them. And also like I said, the 4 elements of the material, air element, water element, air element, and temperature, they're also affecting each other. If you have too much water, it will be different material. If you have too much earth, if you make some, I don't know, maybe you make bread. So if you put too much hot, it will burn, okay? If you have too much heat, so it will be too hot. It will be more liquid. Yeah? So they're affecting each other, these 4 materials: earth element, water element, temperature, and air element. So this is another, it's called anya manya. It means a relationship between the two parts. And this is the 7. I hope it's not too difficult for you. But it's good. Whoever will understand. Whoever difficult, maybe next time you hear it again, you will understand it better. And then we have the next one, 8. It's called Nisaya Pachayo. What means Nisaya? Nisaya, it means dependency condition. The things dependent on each other. Conditions of 2 elements which depend on each other. Like I said, the first part of the material, depending on each other, this one. The mind and the body, depending on each other. You see, I told you that in the material, there is these 4 elements: the air element, water element, earth element, and temperature. But the material have space. Material have color, sound, Okay, have a wet, have material have 28 function. Or sex also is part of material. Distance is part of material. But anyhow, all these 28, they are actually functioning together. They are depending on these four elements. Without these four elements, there is no space. There is no color. Okay? There is no wet. There is no sex. Okay? So these 28 parts, like a color, will be only if there is a place to play. A football game, okay? For example, the stage of playing or plata, okay? Whatever you take, there is a color. But the color will not be plata, okay? Yeah. So it means that these 24 elements of the material depend on the four basic things of the material. For example, air, temperature, and liquid. Okay, and I say also about the body and the mind. So this is called nisaya. Nisaya pachayo, it's dependency. Things depend on other things. The body depends on the mind to function, and the mind depends on the body to function. Otherwise, we'll not be human beings, not be creature, sentient beings. So this is another pachaya, which is the eighth one. And now we go to Upanisaya pachaya. This is strong dependency. It's depending, but very strong dependency. And what is this strong dependency? It's the karma, the actions that we are doing. Our deeds create, the Buddha said that the karma is the highest force in the karma, in the nature. The most strong force in the nature is the karma. It means that we have good actions influence on us in the good. We depend on our actions. If we make good, the good actions will come on us. If we make bad, the bad will come on us. Sometimes we make good, but it's influence on us in the bad. Which way? For example, I make donation and then I think, everybody know that I'm a rich person and this, or maybe I will give more than the others. Huh? It means that I do something and then I do something good, but it motivates me to think in a bad way. But sometimes we do something bad and then it changes us. For example, I steal and then I say, I should not do this. So sometimes the bad influence, you have four kind of way how it's depending. The good influence on the bad, on the good, the bad influence on the bad, the good influence on the bad, and the bad influence on the good. So all these things is very strong dependency because the power of the karma, it's the most strong power that have to that we depend on it. So this is called Upanisaya pachaya. Now we come to the 10. The 10 called Pure Jata. Okay, you see, it's very simple and similar to English. Pure, it's the same like pre, before. Okay, something that before something. Jata, jati means birth. It means pre-existing. The first conditions. This will influence on the other things. For example, I give you an example. Because there is a picture, my eyes can see the picture. Okay? If there is no picture, I cannot see picture. So the picture is a preconditions to the eyes to see. Okay? The eyes getting the information. The consciousness can understand this is a picture. If my eyes, if I will be, there is a picture, but I'm blind. How can I know there is a picture? But when the consciousness when the information coming into the eyes, the consciousness can receive it and say, I have a picture. Because I see, I'm responding. I say, I do this and this. I want to take the picture. Oh, I like the picture. If I don't see, if I don't receive the information, how can I respond? For example, maybe there is a picture behind me and I don't see. How can I respond to it? But you see, this is called precondition. Oh, something happened only then because of this, the reactions will come. So this is mean Phra Chata Pachayo. Now we have Pacha Chata Pachayo, which is post-existing. Something will be because something finished. This also exists in the nature and make us function as the I, you, me. Okay? For example, preconditions after human being die. The mind stop, the mind continue to another place, but the body continue, became rotten and dying and come back to the earth, maybe warm, eating. So the body is continuing even after dying. The conditions already, because human being die, then the body is continue like this. It became part of the earth and whatever happened. As long as we're alive, we still everything function good. But because the mind go away, die, okay, then the body can decay. Because the mind was sadness come up, go away. Now the tears coming. Because I was happy, then the laughing coming. It means if the laughing not come, they must go away, and then the next things will come up. Okay? Another thing, the body is depend on the food. When I'm eating, then the body, after I finish eating, the process of the eating finish, now the body start to digest the food. Okay, start to work with the food. It means it's after the eating, the body is continuing. Okay? Also, when I make something bad in the past, now I get the fruition later. Karma. This is another kind of influence. Temperature. I exposed to some temperature in the past, now it's influence on me. We was very, very good or happy people. Now we became beautiful. It means because I was so long time happy and smiling and joking and whatever, then became beautiful. Because so angry or nervous, after some time you became not beautiful. So you see the function finish. Because of this function which finished, something happened, new happened. And that's what we call Pacha Jata. Okay? Again, Jata is the word of Jati, birth. Okay? And then it's post, something like post existing. This is another kind of game or play in the game of alive, of I am, of human being, of someone. Okay, me, you, I. So this is 11. Now we are coming to 12. Asevana Pachayo. Asevana Pachayo, it means frequently. Okay? Things that repeating again and again. The same things will come again and again and again. Okay? Something which will come again and again and again. The same things. Same phenomena will repeat again and again and again. Repetition. It will repeat again and again and again. Okay? This is the meaning asevana. It means the same condition. Go, 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 go. Now, I will tell you one thing. For example, I told you that the mind is rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing, okay? And affecting. But the way that is working, you have to understand, this is a little bit deep inside, but some of you maybe understand. When we are, suppose someone tell me something not nice and I get anger, I don't get anger one pip, rising, ceasing. It will not be enough for me to get anger. We have repetition of 7 moments of rising, ceasing of anger. When we greedy, 7 greedy come up. Huh? Because I say that the mind is rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing. Sometimes we anger, sometimes we loving kindness, sometimes compassion. It depends what we see, hearing, smelling. Okay, but this anger will not be only one. The worry will not be only one. It repeat again and again 7 times, 7 times, beep, 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 very fast, but 7 times. Okay, so this is one thing. For example, repeating. Another thing, when you go to sleep, in the moment you fall asleep, you snoring, whatever, this is all the time of the sleeping, maybe 8 hours or whatever you sleep, the mind will function in the same kind of mind. It's life, it's called life continuous. Same mind running there. There's no change. I'm not talking about dreams. Dreams, it's different. But in the moment that you're just sleeping, this means that the mind functions in the same mind, which call life continuum. Same things when people are getting into the jhana, concentrations, and they stay in the jhana a long time, this called jhana sampati. In Pali we say sampati, it means attainment. It means stay long time with the same condition. When people are getting blackout, for example, you practice in the course, you wish for 5 minutes blackout, 10 minutes blackout. Enlightened people can get 1 week, but all the time the mind will function in the same time. For in the case of blackout and the vipassana, it's called pala. In the case of people practicing strong concentration, they will be in the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, whatever, and they can stay long time. This is when stay attainment. It means the mind of the jhana will repeat again and again and again and again, same mind, not changing for some times, and then it will change. So this repetition, this frequency, okay, it's called asevana pachayo. This is the 12th one that you will see here. It's called asevana. Okay, here they say frequency. They translate the frequency. So I hope you can understand it when you read it. Then we go to Kama Pachayo. This is the 13th. The mind is influenced very, very strong, like I say, from the karma, from our actions. Karma, it's not mean luck. It's not mean that whatever, I don't know, artificial things. It's just our actions influence. Whatever we are doing, anger, worry, loving kindness, compassion, donation, wisdom, all these things is influence on us, and it's create impression in the mind, and this is the karma. This is what will motivate us in the future later on. So the mind, this karma, it's very, very strong. Like I said, the Buddha said this is the most powerful energy that motivates us in the samsara. It's not only, but it's the most powerful one. Okay. It's all affecting also in the good, also in the bad, in the happiness feeling and also in the suffering side. And it's affecting on the body, speech, and mind. Okay, the effect will be a result on the body, speech, and mind. So this is mean Kama Pachayo. But for example, you see someone walking, suddenly he lost the balance and falling down. The falling down, this is not the karma. He don't pay attention how he's walking, this is the karma. He losing the balance, this is the vipak. It means this is the result of the karma. People going into the jail because they steal. So the stealing is the karma, going to the jail is the vipak. But the vipak itself is also some kind of power or conditions in our life. It means result, it's also the conditions. I say something not nice to someone, he don't like me. So he don't like me, it's the vipak. Okay, so then this comes to be vipaka pachayo, the result, the conditions of the result. It means that whatever we are doing, giving the result also. And this result also will influence us. So it means that karma, but vipak is also another one. So this is, now we come to be 14. We continue to 15. 15 is ahara pachayo. Ahara means vitamin, food, okay, nutrition, mineral. We influenced by the food, what we are eating. The Buddha say, you are what you are eating. Okay? The food that we are eating is creating our body. And also we have our mind. What we eat, what we drink, what we're receiving, this means ahara pachayo. But this is only one kind of physical. We say this is the physical food. But what about what we see, what we smell, what we taste? People looking in the internet all day, I don't know what they see, fighting, play games of killing each other. This is also food. They're spoiling the mind. That's why we say you have to protect your sense doors. This is also kind of food, but this is mental food. Okay? So the mind contact. The contact of the six sense doors, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling, and thinking. Some children, they play with the mind. They start to imagine things. They go, oh, papa, papa, papa. This is also food. They're feeding themselves with the stupid things and creating other things. That's why when we acknowledge, we have to acknowledge thinking, or whatever. We should not follow the game, entertainment in our thinking. Huh? So then suffering follow. But when we stop it, we come back to the reality. We don't eat the food of not good things. So this is also ahara pachayo. Like I say, ahara pachayo is the food, the nutrition, what you eat. Huh? You eat not good food, you have to go to the toilet. But you eat good food, your body will be recover better. But also the mental food is the six sense doors, like I said. So this come to be the 15 pachayo, ahara pachayo. The next one is called indriya pachayo. Indriya, it means faculties. You have the ability. What we can do, the ability. For example, we have 5 faculties. We have 5 faculties. Confidence. People have confidence. That's why I motivate them. Maybe to be better or whatever. Okay. Also to do best. You have the confidence, you have the effort, energy, you have the mindfulness, concentration, most important, wisdom. If you use it in the wrong way, maybe it's take you not good. But we have more faculties. For example, we have the faculties to see. We have the power to see. We have the power to smell, to taste. We have this ability. Blind people, maybe they don't have this power. So they cannot see, they cannot hear or whatever. But this is also considered to be faculties. And because we have these faculties, we can use it. We use it, we are functioning as I, as a someone. Physical faculties of the mind, because I said that the mind and the body function together. In the moment that person dies, these physical faculties is not exist because the mind is not there. So that's why the body is just dropped down on the floor and nothing, it's not function. But in the mind, there is a life faculty. That's why in the mind, there is some kind of power that make me to be alert, to move, to be alive, to stay alive. Okay, and this is mentally, it's not physically, but it's affecting on the body, on the material. Okay, for example, You see, inside me there is a power of faculties of the life faculties. That's why I'm raising up the paper. But the paper itself, there is no anything, it's just falling down. But when I'm moving, when I'm functioning my faculties into the paper, then the paper start to move, function. You see, so the physical or the life faculties is helping us to move. So, and one more thing is life continuously. This is life continuously. It's also kind of faculties that exist. This is like I said, when you are sleeping. When you're sleeping, you are not dying. You continue to be alive. Even that the mind, something like not controlling the body, but still the mind is running. It's called life faculties, and it's all the night. This is what I said, that it's continuously running in the night when you are sleeping. So the mind is still working in the body. That's why we don't die. Okay? Even you are sleeping. So this is called life continuously, life continuum. And okay, so this was in the Pachayo. It means the faculties of or the conditions of faculties or the ability. And now we go to 17. 17 is a Jhana Pachayo. Jhana Pachayo is when people putting themselves in the jhana, in the concentration. The concentration affecting on the body. We have 8 kind of jhana. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. And then we have also arupa jhana, it's a higher jhana. So all these things, it's a power that is affecting on our body. When even so strong that when people die, if they develop strong jhana, when in the moment of dying, it will push them to kind of stage that affected because of this jhana. Okay, so it's not only in this life affecting us, it's also for the next life it will affect us. For example, you have infinity space. To people that know, you have infinity consciousness, you have nothingness, and you have neither perception nor perception. This is very, very high concentration. And even this affecting on our body also, when after dying. So this is called Jhana Pachayo. And now we go to 18. 18, if you look, it's called Magga Pachayo. This means path, path condition. What kind of path is this? This is the path of the Eightfold Path, which is the Sotapan, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahant. This is the path, the condition of the path that clean the mind from the ignorant. This is the path that releasing us from end of suffering to the end of the suffering. This is the Sotapan, cutting from the mind certain kind of amount of kilesa, of ignorance. Sakadagami, cutting more. Anagami, cutting more. Arahant will cut totally. And he will go into the final enlightenment. But the Sotapan already will clean more and more and more, will motivate them to release from the suffering. So this is affecting of our life also. And the basic things all the time is the same practice, the Eightfold Path, the Eightfold Path. So the Eightfold Path themselves call the path condition. Okay? When people, the Buddha say, as long as people will practice the Eightfold Path, the world will not miss the enlightened people around the world. We don't miss them. So this is mean Magga Pachayo. Magga, it means path. Path condition. Path, it means the path of the Sotapan, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahant. So we go to 19. 19. Sampayuta Pachayo. Okay, what means Sampayuta? Togetherness. Okay? Association condition. Go together. They must work together. They cannot work alone. they are associating with each other. Okay. For example, I told you about the four mental process: feeling, memory, volition, anger, worry, doubt, lazy, loving kindness, compassion, this, and consciousness. This must work together. You cannot separate them. You cannot break them. They are just like one unit, mental unit. Okay? They are coming together, they're going down together. They are coming together, they're going down together. I told you that every mind, inside the mind, there is the color of the mind, let's say. Inside the mind is not going alone. It's going with feeling inside, with memory inside, and this. So the mind must go together with its element, let's say, okay? Anger cannot go without not anger inside. Normally disliking will be inside, okay? Maybe volition, I want to do something, must be inside. So they must go together. It's the same like whatever, if you take paper must go with color. You have a size, okay? You have a wet. So they go together. It's not something that you can say, I have a paper, but there is no any color to the paper. Even white, it's color, okay? So it's same thing. The mind have the function inside. They must go together. So this is two elements that must go together. You cannot separate between them. And this is called sampayuta pachayo. It means togetherness, condition of togetherness. Now we come to 20. Vipayuta pachayo. They are disconnected. They must go differently. Okay? They will not be able to go together. They must work separate. For example, the body and the mind. Why the body and the mind? They are not together. Because the body is one element, mind is another element. They're affecting each other, of course. Otherwise, no unit. We don't, no human being. We talked about this before as conditions of acting like working together. Okay, but there are two separate things. This is material, have different characters. This is mental, different characters. So then you cannot mix them together. They're working together. They are functioning, but you cannot make them as a one. Okay? When people die, the mind is continue, the body is lay down. Okay? They are totally separate elements. So this is mean vipayuta pachayo. Okay? They are disconnected to each other. Like I said, don't get confused. They are functioning together. They're affecting each other, but they are disconnected to each other. So this is 20. Now we come to 21. 21, it's ati pachayo. Present. They present together. Okay? They are coming together. They will go together. When they bubble up, they will bubble up together. Well, this is the opposite from vipayo. This is opposite. And what they are? Like I said, the mind, when it coming, it will come together with its element. The mind will not come without anything. It must come with its element inside. Like if suppose someone is doubting, okay? So the doubt will come with some feeling. The doubt will come with energy. The doubt will come with the determination to be doubting, okay, with some kind of concentrations or whatever. So with energy, so everything will come together as a oneness. You cannot say the mind will come and then the doubt will come later. It's not function, okay? Now, I say about the body and the mind, they're affecting each other, but they are two separate things. Suppose you take the eggs the spring coming in. If will not be another element, you cannot say someone alive. Must be the mind coming together. As long as the body, the material, and the mind is not coming to work with them, it will not be human being. But in the moment that the eggs of the mother, the spring of the father, and the mind go inside, now you can say there is creatures, there is sentient beings, there is someone. So they will come together. The birth is something that these two combinations coming together. If the eggs and the spring will come in, but the mind is not coming, there is no birth. Okay? So the birth itself is togetherness of these two elements. Another thing that come together, like I said, this is the four elements of the mental: the feeling, the memory, the you say sankhara, okay, and volition, okay, and the consciousness. They will come together because this is the part of the mind. So the mind, they cannot say mind without feeling. It must come together. And material. When material exists, inside will be these four elements: air element, water element, temperature, and what is it? Temperature, earth, water, and air. Okay, so all together four. And they all the time will come together. If you take stones, these four elements is inside. You take the river, these four elements is inside. You take a paper, this element is inside. Okay, whatever element is there, even the space here, this three element, there is humidity, there is temperature to this space, whatever. Huh? So these four elements will be there. So they come togetherness. Okay. So this is called atipachayo. Present conditions, or condition that present together, or coming together, and then when they go together also. Now you have natipachayo. This opposite. This means there is something that they will never come together. There is things that you cannot put them together. They will not function together. Okay? In the moment that one will come, the other one will go away. Okay? And what is it? I told you that the mind rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing, rising, ceasing. In the moment that we function with special mind, you cannot function with another mind. You will function only with one mind in one moment. I give you the example. Before I used the playing football or basketball, and I said two players cannot stay in on one spot. In the moment this is have to go, so this can stay there. Okay. So in the same way, the mind will go very fast. But it's not possible that in the moment that there is one moment of thought or what function, it will be another function. The mind cannot think about two things together. It goes so fast that we think that we do two things together. Some people, they say, the woman, she working on the kitchen, she do many things together. Not possible. She will do present moment, present moment, present moment. That's why we're practicing present moment. So this is, like I said, this is called natipachayo. It means not possible that they are separating from each other. They will work separately. They will not separate, and they will not work together. Now coming vigatapachayo. We come already to the 23. Okay, we have another two. Vigatapachayo, it means that one has to disappear before the other comes. Before we talk about the idea, they will not be able to be together. But now we talk about another characteristics. That if the other one have to come, other one have to leave. If one family want to come into the house, another family, they have to leave first. You cannot put two families. They will start to fight. Okay? So in the same way, I talk about this, that only after one mind disappears, the next mind will be able to come. It goes so fast that we think that it goes something like, I give you the example, open the eyes, immediately I see. So what happened to the mind? The mind will not come, either this one will disappear. Okay? You see the difference between the two characteristics. One, it means that only one mind can be in one moment. So this is one characteristic. Another one, if the second characteristic is in the moment, this one, if he want to come, only after this one will come. When you have empty space, it will come. Something like if you have, but it's not exactly space. Okay, so this is the meaning of vikata pachayo. Okay, it means disappearing. Only if this is disappear, the other one will be able to appear, let's say. Okay, this means disappearance condition. And now we come to the 24, avigata pachayo. Avigata pachayo. Because is not disappearing, these things can be exist. Because is not disappearing, the other things can be exist. If this will disappear, the other one will not be able to survive. I give you example. Ocean. If you don't have ocean, all the fish will die. So the ocean is conditions for the fish and all the elements in the ocean to live. This is example, okay? So this is what means avigata pachayo. It means that only because of M, it's the other conditions can exist, can be. If the other conditions, if this condition will not be, the others will not be able to appear. And this is also part of our I, of our nature of the self. And for example, yeah, the four aggregate, I told you of the mind, feeling, memory, volition, and consciousness. In the moment that one of them will not be, the three cannot. They must be. In one moment that one of them disappear, the other things will not be. So they depend on each other so much. So only if they come together, only then the mind will be able to function. And other things, the four elements, like I say, air element, water element, temperature, and say the wind element, okay? The wind. So you cannot cut, you cannot take out one. So they all guarantee for the others. Another one, I told you the first birth. In the moment that you take out, you don't put the mind inside, it will not be creatures. In the moment that will not be only mind but no body, no possible. So they both have to be together. You cannot separate. They are guaranteed to each other, let's say. I say about the mind and the things that exist in the mind, okay? Like the sorrow, sadness, anger, loving kindness, compassion, whatever, and the feeling, and they go with the mind. You cannot, if you take something, if you take it out, it will not be exist. So they are, let's say, supporting each other to be exist. And then another thing, it's the 24 elements or characteristics of the body, of the material, depend on these four elements: the air element, fire element, wind element, and temperature. You cannot, if you take them, it will not be any base. Like I gave you the example, the color of the paper depends if the paper exists. If the paper not exists, there is nothing to talk about the color of the paper. Okay? So same things. If there is no air element, there is nothing to talk about how is wet, how many kilograms is this. But if there is no material, how can it be wet for this? Huh? What color is our picture? But if there is no picture, what kind of color will be the picture? Okay? So it means that it must be exist, that the other things would be exist. And this is mean abhigata pachayo. So now I cross very, very fast through the 24 pachayo or conditions. Okay? This is the 57 in the books. Okay? Mātikā, it's called. Okay? This is, like I told you, it's so deep that in the book, it's only 10 pages from 2000 and how much I say before? 2,400 and something. Yeah? So deep is it. But I try somehow to let you the essence of Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma, it's like mathematics. It's very, very deep, very, very difficult to understand. That's why only Sariputta actually can understand it. But I hope that you got some essence for this. This is Patana. Any questions?
On n'entend plus. Oops.
Anyone want to ask something? Anyone understood? Anyone understood? How many of you get confused? Carmen, I think you understood. No?
I really appreciated it, yes. But to understand it's so deep.
Yeah, it's very deep. And I touch very, very simple. I try to digest it for you, so maybe you can understand something. Because it's very, very deep. You know, when you read it, the other explanation, maybe the other one you will not be understand at all. Yeah, because it's very, very deep also how to explain it. It's many details. But I try to digest it as much as possible to fill you with this. Anyone want to ask something? And by the way, I asking like this, anyone want to ask something, but I'm not sure I will be able to answer. Don't think that I understand, but somehow I understand, otherwise I cannot explain it. Yeah? Good. So we pay respect again to the Buddha. Thank you very much. Yeah. Anyone want to ask again before? Okay. The Buddha. Araham sama samto bhagava bhutan bhagavantan abhivadeni sawakhato bhagavata namo Dhammasamgaṇī supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgham namāmi. Thank you. I'm happy that I can show you a little bit from all the range of the Buddhism. We talk about sutta, okay? I don't mind even if it's a little bit difficult for all of you, but you get a little bit more deep, not to stay shallow all the time with the same idea, so you can taste a little bit more. Huh? I think it's good for you to see overview. Never mind if you don't understand it. Again, in the future, maybe you can understand more and more deep. But it's called wisdom without intelligence. Some you will understand. Some you will understand later. But now you hear a little bit from the sutta. You hear a little bit from the Vinaya. Okay, the precept. We talk one time. We make a chanting about the Vinaya. Okay, and then about the Vinaya Pitaka, and then now we talk a little bit about Abhidhamma also. So you get already impression from the 3 baskets, Sutta, Vinaya, and Abhidhamma. So I think it's good for you to listen to all these things. Sometime in the future, if you hear again and again, you will be able to understand. It just depends on practice, depends on the merit, and depends on how you continue with the development. It's very, very, and very, very important.
Sadhu, 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 powerful. Thank you. Toda rabba.
Interest.
Good luck.
Bye.
Night. Bye.
Night.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, welcome. I hope that it will not be so difficult. Next week, nobody come to the chanting anymore. Everybody.
It was very, really.
Okay. Bye-bye. Welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.